It's been a while since you've seen me. I think it's been a year and a half, 2 years. It's been a while. Year and a half, I think. Anyways, okay. So I changed my hair, which I don't know if you've seen it. I cut my hair a long time ago, but I was blonde for a good long time, and it was super cute. But my hair's like I'm coming in gray fast, and I figured, well, it can only go dark maybe one or two more times in my life before it becomes dead white roots. And I mean, like, you can see, look at that, like, a lot of gray hair. So like in my head, I was gonna go dark, and so I did. So I got this red thing going on, and it's cute, I think. But the short hair is cute, kind of too. But I'm growing it out again. I like change. So I am in a hotel room. I am in Nashville for work. I get to leave tomorrow morning, thankfully. It's been raining nonstop since I got here. That's why my hair is disgusting. If I washed it, it turned into a fro, which I still have to wash it anyways, but it sucks. Anyways. So, I'm sure you're wondering what's been up with me. So, quite a bit, actually. So, I moved out of my location and relationship around May of last year, and so it's been almost a year now, which is crazy to me, but yep. So I'm in an apartment now, which is ungodly expensive, and I hope to move into a house eventually, hopefully in the next like 3 to 5 months. I definitely need to start looking. I found a house I loved, but it seemed really overpriced, and somebody bought it almost immediately, so clearly it wasn't overpriced, but it's tough. It's tough. I'd like a house that's totally done and totally ready to move into and just god-awful cute. That'd be super easy, but of course that's easier said than done. So most of the houses that I find are need some work. They're more in my price range, but this house was super tiny, but really cute. But super tiny. Anyways, so I'd like to move into a house. Not there yet. Ooh, I got some wrinkles going on. Don't mind me. Anyways, I'm gonna sit up. I look silly. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm sure you want to know dieting, blah blah blah. Okay, so I think last year when I made a video about anti-dieting, or a year and a half ago, I think I weighed somewhere between 215 and 230. I don't remember exactly how high or how low. That's usually where I'm between almost most of my life. Almost all of my adult life is between those two ranges. One of the things, so I just told you I moved out, and I broke up with my boyfriend. I was going through this thing every 3 to 5 months where I would say, I'm leaving, I hate this, I'm leaving. And then I would tell him I was leaving, and then it would just be really, really painful, and then I would not move out. Because it'd be like a week or two long process, and I just, like one time, we broke up for a week, and I still lived there, and that was just stupid. Like, why would I do that to myself? How dumb. And I had a ton of money saved, so that was really stupid. I mean, I had a lot of money saved because I lived with my ex's dad, and I didn't have to pay any rent, which obviously is, I tried to give him money when I left, but he wouldn't take it. But anyways, I had money saved. There's no reason why I couldn't. I'm thinking I was just chicken shit. So I didn't move out. But I went through this cycle for like every 3 to 5 months for like 7 years, where I was like, okay, I'm moving out. I hate this. I'm miserable. And part of it, and it wasn't like, the thing that finally sealed the deal was that, it was just this constant rotation in seasons, and it was just, everything was pre-planned, and I didn't really enjoy any of it. And I realized that I wasn't really going to get a lot of say in this. It was all going to happen to me, and I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't my thing. That's not where I saw my life going. I didn't want that. And I just wasn't happy, so I eventually left. So I got an apartment, and it's so expensive. Yeah, but hopefully that leases up pretty soon and I can buy a house, but we'll see. I go through this cycle, and one of the times before I moved out, maybe 6 months before I moved out, I kind of said, and usually on this cycle I would start dieting, or I would just do something different, because I would do something that I could control, and what I ate was something I could control, which is, I had very few things I could control in that situation. Vice versa, I felt I could control something, and one of the times I decided, well, okay, you're chicken shit, you never ever leave, you always say you're going to leave and you never leave, so instead, this one time, I just ate. And I know that sounds really silly, and it sounds like almost storybook made up, but literally, like, I just ate, and I ended up so I was weighed probably 215, 220, I don't know. I think it was, let's say, around 220, because I think it was a little under that. And I hit 257. That was when I started dieting again in February. So clearly that wasn't working. The cycle was over, and then I was on another cycle, and I was like, all right, you need to get your ass moving. Like, you need to change shit. And I started dieting, and I just kind of zoned out, and I was just kind of like, I'm out of this. I'm done with this. But I continued, I was still there, and he knew that I was totally checked out, and that caused some problems, but, yeah, he understood what I was doing, and I did it, and then I moved out. So, anyways, during that 3 to 4 months before I ended up moving out, before I ended up actually breaking up, I was down to 220, I want to say, 225, something like that. So, like 30 or 40 pounds, and I'm sure you're wondering, how? Okay, so, so clearly before that, like back when I was doing the videos, it was Nutrisystem, and that worked for me for a minute. It's definitely easy with packaged food, but difficult with healthy food, and easy to buy because it came to the house, but difficult to manage because you get too much or the wrong things, and then you have to kind of get bored of them. I would say that was the biggest issue with Nutrisystem, is I kind of got bored. Look, I have, you should understand, I have, probably 200 cookbooks. And I collect cookbooks from all the different ethnicities and all the different countries, and I just love the idea of trying new things and cooking different things. So Nutrisystem got really boring really fast, with a lot of really plain foods. I mean, if you're in it to win it and that's all you're in it for, then yeah, it's great. But if you really, food is a big part of your life and it's important to you, then Nutrisystem's a little tough. That being said, so when I started dieting again in February, this isn't something that people actually, promote. I've never heard of it. I did go looking to see if other people have done it before, because I kind of penned it some name that kind of makes sense, but not really anyone's done it. I found a little bit on the internet, but nothing extreme. I'd call it the low-volume diet, is I just didn't really worry about what I was eating. I just made sure I didn't eat a lot of it. And I tried to eat only a couple times a day instead of all day like I normally do. And the biggest thing that helped me do that was actually I started buying those dinners, where you make it yourself, like Home Chef and stuff. So the one I was doing for a while, so I rotate between Home Chef and Every Plate, and Every Plate's way cheaper. It's half the price of everybody else. And it teaches you how to cook pretty much. They don't pre-prep anything. They just send you the vegetables, so your vegetables don't go bad. You don't buy a bunch of stuff and it all go bad, which is a big problem for me, is that every time I buy vegetables, they go bad. Because I buy the wrong things, or I don't plan a recipe in advance, and it's just this big thing. So Every Plate I really like, but it can get kind of boring, and they actually rotate. They do a lot of the same recipes, which I don't like that. I'd like to see new things every week. I'd like to make sure I see new things every week, and I don't want January and February and March to all have the same stuff. I don't want to eat rosemary chicken in January and then again in February and then again in March. I really want to try something, try different things. I want them to experiment. I want to be their, lab rat. I like to try different foods. So that's where Home Chef I like it a lot, because they give you some really quirky shit, and it's really good. Like, I've never had something bad. Like, it's always fun. It's always tasty. It's a little harder to translate into, like, cooking yourself because some of the ingredients are a little more specialized. So it'll be, like, some special rub that they don't really, I obviously don't tell you what's in it, and they'll name it something funny. Or they'll give you a strange ingredient or strange blend that you aren't going to find in stores. Stuff like that. That's a little tricky, but otherwise it's really good. So the thing that I would do is I would buy those, and they give you, like, you can buy 6 meals. But you don't actually have to say it's 6 meals. So what I do is I take the 2 meals and I turn it into 3. And then I package it in a container, and then I eat those for either lunches or dinners. So those tend to be roughly 400 to 500 calories. So 3 of those a day, or 2 of those a day plus something else for breakfast. That's better now. Like, it's pretty low. You can get under 2,000 calories eating that, like, pretty easily. And it's not a lot of food, but it's tasty, and you don't have to watch, like, you don't have to say, oh, I can't have any oil because it's fat, or you can't say, I can't have any bread because it's carbs. Like, it's just relatively low in calorie because it's low in volume. Like, you're just not eating a ton. Now, and then I wasn't eating vegetables and jamming it and stretching my stomach out, so my stomach was shrinking, which makes it easier to get full faster, to not be hungry all the time. Like, I feel like that's one of the biggest issues with heavier people is that they've got a very stretched out stomach, so they're never full. Or it's hard to reach fullness and then when they, it's hard. So yeah, doing that, I get down to 220, 225, whatever. Continued to drop to, I think, roughly 215 about 3 months ago. And then Christmas happens, Thanksgiving happens, and I always gain weight. Every year at that season I gain weight. I think 1 year in the last maybe 12 I didn't, I think I didn't even I feel like I didn't go to Christmas, or I didn't eat at Christmas or something silly, and I didn't eat at Thanksgiving. Like, that's the only way to do it. Like, I just can't eat those 2 meals, and then I'm fine. I can get back on track. But every year, those seasons just get me. So, then I think I was at 236, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I had some ice cream, and I had some bread. I had a lot of bread. I was eating a lot of toast. Yeah. Anyway, so I go through these phases where I'm, like, doing really good and not doing really good. So my plan is to start again on Monday to start. So this is just a recap of where I've been and what my game plan is. So going forward, I'm continuing to do the Home Chef diet, which is, I'm going to call it the low volume diet. I really like Home Chef. I got HelloFresh a couple of times because I've been trying out the different coupons because they give you coupons and it's fun to try. And, like, I quit doing Home Chef for a minute, and then they gave me like $100 to go back for another month, and I was like, okay. So that's where I'm at right now. And then HelloFresh also gave me a coupon to do it, so I did it, and I don't know why I stacked those. That was dumb of me. But I like to rotate, so I'd really like to try Marley Spoon, which is the Martha Stewart one, which sounds really good. I'm sure they have really experimental stuff. But Home Chef I'm really happy with, so I probably will just pause that account and kind of bounce back and forth. I know it's expensive, so you're looking at like $60 a week, but like, you're getting 9 meals for $60, and like, you don't have to go grocery shopping. I know, like, Nutrisystem, you still had to go grocery shopping, you still had to buy vegetables. Dude, these things, they send you the vegetables. Like, you don't have to go shopping, you don't have to make food go bad, you don't have to try to guess, you don't have to fight traffic to get to the store. Yes, I'm weird, I don't like leaving my apartment. So, I plan on starting those up again. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been really watching my carbs. No, I'm not keto. Not keto. Keto, I have weird opinions about keto. I'm not going to share them because people will be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just think it's, I have weird feelings about keto. But I do know that bread is difficult for me. So, like, to give you an example, I haven't been allowed to buy bread for about 2 weeks now because for a minute there I was eating a lot of bread. So I found, like, one day I had somewhere between 5 and 7 pieces of toast. So, like, I'd have a piece of peanut butter toast, and then I'd have some cinnamon sugar toast, and then I'd have another peanut butter toast, and then I'd have a garlic toast, and then I'd have another cinnamon toast or something silly. Like it was ridiculous, and it was because it was easy and it was right in front of me, and it would be a good quick sugar fix. And I have a sugar issue, obviously. Hello, clearly I have a problem with something, and sugar is definitely something I have a problem with. So definitely cut out. I'm not allowed to buy bread anymore. So like we made bread the one day, and it was awesome. And then I made croutons from the ends when they were like from when they started to go hard. Oh, the list just came through. So yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, I have a list. Apparently, my mom's like, "Oh my god, you do! Where did that start?" I don't know. It's probably from my tongue. You know, she's probably with my lips and my tongue. I don't know. I didn't know I had a lisp until you guys pointed it out. So now we all know.